Alright, how's it going everybody today? So it's a little rainy out today, so we're just we're here in the shed with the bikes, and we did finally get the KTM back from the mechanic, so we'll go over the KTM here in a second, but just wanted to show you the outside here. So it is a little rainy, so we finally did get some rain. It's been really dry recently, so hopefully that actually softens some of the riding places up. Like Osceola has been really dry, as well as Croom. So hopefully the rain that we have been getting softens up those places a little bit, so it makes it, gives us a little bit more traction. So that, that'll be nice. And so we'll go over the KTM here since we got it back from the mechanic. So he did end up doing the valve cover gasket that we were leaking here. And while he was in there, he did go ahead and do a valve adjustment. So the bike is all running good there, and we did as well put the fresh radiator hoses on there. So that's all checked out, and other than that, I cleaned the bike up real nice, so she's looking good. And as well, we did get the TMD factory edition chain guard. My OEM one had finally worn out, and we just had to pop the master link off and take the chain off. It wasn't too hard, so we did finally get the chain guard back on. It's a little noisy, but I'm sure once it wears in, it'll quiet down. And other than that, the KTM is pretty much 100% right now for the next ride. And so today we're just going to be tightening a couple, other things up. We're going to do a coolant flush on the KTM, and as well, maybe a couple other things. And other than that, the KTM is all good to go, and that is good. And then now for the RM125, my dad's bike. So in the last video, you guys seen that it was all crashed up, and this was all broken up, and this was snapped off of the radiator. So what we had just JB welded it back together. We could have just replaced the radiator itself, but we're like, well, it's an old bike, so we might as well just go ahead and do it the cheaper way, and we JB welded the bracket back on to pop the shroud on. And he will need new radiator louvers, so that's one more thing we got to check off the list for his bike, as well as his bike needs an air filter clean, and we will be doing an air filter on the we will be doing an air filter on the KTM as well. Alright guys, so I tried to get a little bit of light over here. It was kind of hard trying to find some light. We'll have to end up putting like some puck lights, and we did end up buying a couple. We just have to get batteries for them. So we probably will get a little bit of better lighting system in here. But so today we'll just be dumping the coolant. That will be the first thing I'm doing on the KTM. So it's just this little bolt here and a crush washer, and then you'll take your radiator cap off of the bike to help it drain better. So let me set the camera up and we'll go ahead and get to it. Alright, pretty sure you guys are able to see there. So now we just got to loosen this bolt here and drain fluid, of course, which it wasn't very tight at all, so that's good to know. I'll get this drain pan ready that I wasn't ready for. And then I'll go ahead and take my radiator cap off. Oh, there we go. Oh!
Ah, catch it. You just went all in your frickin' fitting.
Look at me, guys. You guys can laugh at me in the comments on that one. I didn't know it would spray out with so much pressure. That's nice. Well, good to know for the next one, guys. You can comment down below what you thought about that. I'm not really too sure on the color. It was dirty the last time we checked it and everything, so it definitely needed a flush. Let me hear, guys, why it sits there and drips. Yeah, it's definitely a little I mean, it's coolant color, but let's check this out here, guys. Definitely dirty. Definitely needed to be flushed, that's for sure. So we'll get the new crush washer, get the new crush washer on the bolt, and we'll get her back tightened up and get some fluid in her. Alright guys, so we got all the coolant drained out here, and so now we just have to get the little washer right here, my little washer, and place it on the bolt, and that just holds it from leaking and stuff like that. So here, I'm gonna give the camera to my pop, and he's gonna film for me. You can look at it. That'll work. Oh, hold on, we gotta take the old one off. Don't forget that. As you can see, that's old and worn out. See, there's still, I feel like there's still coolant in there, but we tilted it over and leaned it sideways and everything, so. And it was not very tight. I don't know, I guess I need to look up the exact torque spec. But when I loosened it, I barely broke it loose. So we're just gonna go snap, because I still do not have a torque wrench. I know you're gonna say that in the comments, get a torque wrench, but right there. That should be good. Just snug. That should be fine. So now we'll get the funnel and the coolant, and we'll top it up and let it run for a second and make sure we got our levels right, and that'll be flush complete. Alright, so we're going to be topping her off with EI engine ice coolant today, and we got the funnel set up and we got the drain bolt back in with the crush washer on. So now we're just going to fill it up, and we might start it and run it, just to, you know, sometimes have to run it to get all the coolant down in the water pump. Alright guys, so we're back and it's the next day. So we let the air filters dry and sit out for a little bit and just dry. And now I'm going to take compressed air and blow out my screen of my air filter, and then get the new one on, and then we'll get the bikes running. And like again, so for the KTM bikes, it's just these little pins to take the old one out. This pin, and then the top one doesn't have a pin, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I took it out. So I'll set this up here. And yep, it just pops out just like that. And then the screen is intact there. And there's the filter. And the intake is actually pretty clean as well. And we got Pop over here on his 125, getting his taken care of, taking the plastics off to get the seat off. And so now I'm going to take this filter off the screen and place it in my bag, and then we'll get the new one oiled up and get the new one on. And I will see you when I get to it. Alright, so we got the old filter off, and this is what the KTM screen looks like. So this is what I'll air dust out. But for now, we're going to put the old filter in just a regular trash bag, or a grocery bag. Some people call it trash bag. But it's easy to put in there and wrap out and wrap up and keep it, you know, clean that way. So we'll set that aside. And then we'll take my screen and we'll blow a little air through it, which sits this way. So we want to blow through it. Now we'll go ahead and slide this filter in and get the clip pushed in there. So once that's seated, you pull this down and clip it in, just like that. Make sure you got a good seat all the way around. Alright, that's clipped on, nice and pushed in. And now we'll go ahead and throw our cover back on.
Should I go to the inside or to the outside?
Alright, the cover's on. And now the KTM is all good with a fresh new air filter. And now we'll get back to you guys when we get started on the RM125. Alright, so now we're lubing up the RM125 filter. And then we'll get it slapped on and we'll get the bikes cranked up. Alright guys, so we're finished up here for the day. We got our new air filters on and also did a coolant flush on the KTM and topped off the little bit of oil that had leaked out from the leaky valve cover gasket. And we also had straightened out the bars on the RM125 from the crash at Croom. Also adjusted my bars a little bit. And so now we're gonna go ahead and load up in the shed for the night. And again, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe like always. And comment, anything if you guys want any, if you guys do think this mechanic content is cool. And hope you guys enjoyed again, and see you in the next one.